Did you know the opening song for Skyrim was sung by only 30 people, but they sang it 3 times, mixed it, so it sounds like there are 90 people singing. You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For all the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos, and opinions, make sure you visit TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello and welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode 115. My name's Gareth Bry. I'm going to be your host. And on my virtual left is Mr. James Burks. How you doing, James?
Hey. I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Good. Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Gotta like it. On my virtual right is Mr. Paul Renshaw. How you doing, Paul?
Hello there, Gareth. I'm very well, thank you. I'm obviously going to have to start working on some kind of catchphrase because I think James is trying to find his. You know, it was Olay last week. It's hey this week.
Yeah, I know, he's got loads.
Yeah. We need something. We need to have like a little musical sting or something.
What can we have?
Comes on.
Bang, bang.
I don't know, like ba-dum-tish. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Bang,
I'm here all week.
Bang, bang. That's my one. Bang, bang.
Have a nice day.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, Briley. That's what they
call it. Bang, bang, Briley. That's good. I like it. Gentlemen, what's your week been like? James, what have you been doing?
Well, I've been watching quite a lot of the new action-packed series on Amazon, Reacher, which is based on the Jack Reacher books. But this time, they've cast a guy that looks like he might be able to do some damage in the form of Alan Ritchson, who was in Titans as Hawk. And that guy is an absolute beast of a man. And it works really well for the show. Because literally, every scene he's in, you're fearful for everyone around him. Because he is such a badass. But yeah, I think it's a really good TV show. But I do worry that everyone apart from him isn't really that interesting. So if he's not in the scene, you're like, come on, bring him back. You know, get him in there. We need to see some more, fights. Because it's a really good fight scenes. Where he brutalizes people.
Right.
But yeah, I've watched that and I very much recommend it.
Okay.
Have you seen it, Paul?
I have. That's it's unusual for me to watch television, but I saw the trailer for it and I thought, this looks relevant to my interests. And yeah, I agree with you. You wouldn't want to spill his pint, would you? He's a big lad, bless him. And I was trying to explain to my son, because my son was watching it with me, and I was trying to explain to him the difference between teeny tiny Tom Cruise and this guy when they were both playing Reacher. And he was like, well, how is this guy when he's like 5'4"? How is he going to be scary? I said, well, he wasn't really. But yeah, this guy who's playing Reacher now is gigantic. And I think you were a bit unfair with the other characters. The Finley, the cop, I think he's quite interesting. How far into it have you got?
I'm over halfway through.
Have you met Neely? Neely, yeah.
No.
Ah, well, she's quite a good character as well. So keep an eye out for Neely. She's pretty good as well. So yeah, I mean, it is every time. I just love the way that he acts it as well, because he really does seem like he's been there and done that. But he's not just a brainless lump of muscle. He comes across as quite an intelligent chap. So
he's very smart and very quick-witted.
Details matter, James. Details matter.
Exactly.
That's the catchphrase, Gareth, if you've not watched it.
Details matter. Good.
Details matter. It's a watchword at the Xbox Hub, obviously.
Paul, a little behind the scenes for you. Paul said to me this week, I can actually talk about a TV program for once. I've seen one. And James has got in there first.
has gone and stolen my thunder.
I mean, I don't think you want me to talk about another 100 Korean dramas, so I thought I'd keep it a little bit more, a
little bit more relevant.
Yeah. Sorry, Paul.
No, it's fine, mate. I'm just impressed that we're watching the same thing, because as far as I could tell, there was no K-pop music in it or anything. So
no, not yet.
Yeah, it's Hollywood blues, isn't it? So
a lot of country blues, yeah.
Yeah. But yes, if you've not watched it, Gareth, I recommend it. It's very good.
I'm not going to watch it. No, I will watch it. I will watch it. I don't know. I don't know. Something about it I don't know.
He's worth watching.
I like him in Titans. I don't know why I don't fancy it. I think I was put off by Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan?
Yeah. Well, it's the same studio. So it was like,
yeah. And they're both called Jack, I suppose, as well. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll give it a go. I've been watching one for you two, The Tragedy of Macbeth, on Apple TV, which is the film with Denzel Washington on Macbeth. That's worth a watch if you're a Macbeth fan.
Or if you're one of the three people in the world with Apple TV.
Exactly.
I think my problem with Macbeth is my only memory of it is a theatre production when you used a lot of smoke and it gave me a bit of an asthma attack.
Oh.
So I went out. So I don't really like Macbeth after that.
There you go. I think there's a lot of smoke in this as well.
Oh no.
It's getting a bit wheezy already.
Yeah. And I've been watching Witcher Season 2. I'm a bit behind, so I'm catching up with that now because my partner's got COVID, so I'm in the other room watching now. And yeah, that's good. That's all right. It's quite funny. I've got a lot of friends who are in it, so it's quite weird watching it and seeing people pop up that I know. It's quite a nice thing.
Yeah. What, Henry Cavill?
I was going to say, are you trying to say, is this you name dropping?
No, literally.
And Henry.
Literally, friends have got one line in it or something like that. I go, oh my god, it's Helen! Oh my god, it's really weird. Yeah,
it's Dave.
It's Dave there. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
You were such a lovey.
It's good fun. It's good fun. It's
Does it keep in tie? Does it tie in well with the game? Still,
yeah, it feels like it. I mean, I think the opening. There's a sort of Witcher's home base, if you like, and at the start of The Witcher 3, I think you start there with Ciri, and it's like they've gone, let's go and look at The Witcher 3 game. That's what it looks like. Let's make that for the film, and I think that's what they've done. It really is it does feel very much. It feels like you're almost getting into that Witcher 3 timeline as well of story.
So is it based on the game, or is it still based on the books?
This is a tricky thing. It's the egg and chicken thing now. I don't know.
Yeah, the first series was definitely based on the first couple of books.
Right.
One of the things my wife got me for Christmas was a full set of them. So I've read them all, and I read it going, I've watched this. This is really cool. So I'll be interested. I'll be interested to see.
You played the game, Paul?
I have played the game, yes.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I think it's very difficult not to like The Witcher, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I do think that Henry makes a good fist of being Geralt as well. I think he does a very good job.
The only problem with him, right, this is my only thing, because he's made a commitment to doing that voice, that voice like that, all the time, it's quite hard for him to have emotion in it. Because he's putting on a kind of like a strange, that kind of really low. It's hard for him then to have any sort of variation. That's the only thing. But he does a really good job. I mean, he looks great and he does all the running around.
To be fair, in the books, go on,
sorry.
I was going to say, to be fair, in the books, I mean, the things that he's gone through to become a Witcher, they've pretty much got rid of emotion anyway. So
yeah.
So that's fair enough, I think.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
I don't think he made that decision.
Are you saying he's not a method actor?
I'm not saying anything.
Mutated himself.
I'm not saying he's a big chap. I'm not saying anything. He's come around to my house.
He's not your friend, Gareth.
Yeah, because he's not my. Yeah. Right, let's talk about games. Paul, I'm going to start with you because you've got a game.
Ooh,
to chat
I
about.
have a game. Yes. It's a game that people might be interested in, Jim. You never know. Right, yes, the game I've been playing is almost an homage to the JRPG genre, called Edge of Eternity from a company called Midgar Studios, which in itself is a throwback to Final Fantasy VII. And it's, when somebody makes a game and you can tell that they're massive fans of the genre and they've gone all out to try and make the best game that they can. This is one of those. It's a huge, sprawling JRPG style game, full of turn-based battles and exploration, as you'd expect. But even the battles have got new bits to them. So in addition to the standard, you wait until your action bar is full and then you can attack or whatever. Depending on where you position the characters around the battlefield, you can actually get advantages. If you attack an enemy from behind, for instance, you do more damage. The same if the enemy manages to get behind you, they do more damage if they attack you from behind. So there's a good mix of kind of strategy and just turn-based battling. And I really, really enjoyed it. It's very good indeed.
So what's the story, Paul? Where's
the story? It's set in a world called Herion. And the story is that 30-odd years ago, there were some alien spaceships appeared in the sky over this continent, this world. Everything was hunky-dory for a while. Everybody got along. And then, for whatever reason, they all decided to have a massive ruck. And so they've been fighting ever since. But the aliens, in a kind of masterstroke of nastiness, have released a disease almost called the corrosion that kills people, but not before it turns them into sort of corrupted monsters, if you like, that then go around and attack other people. So the story is you follow a soldier and his sister who's a priestess, and they're on a mission to try and cure this corrosion because their mother's got it. So, yeah, basically it just follows them as they get into various scrapes around the world and try and sort it out. And
so it's a JRPG.
Yep.
So do you just control one character, or you control him?
You run around. Basically, when you're running around the main screen, you just control Darian, who is the soldier guy. His sister's running around in the background, getting hung up on the scenery and stuff, but we'll gloss over that. So, and then obviously when you get into the battles, you then, each person takes a turn and they can do various different attacks and magic and summon things and do all sorts of exciting things.
Is it like a full game? Is it like a full Final Fantasy, AAA game?
The thing it reminds me most of is Final Fantasy XII. It's a similar kind of setup. You've got large areas that nevertheless have got discrete borders, and you run around these areas and you can see the monsters ahead of time and choose whether to fight them or not. And yeah, it's really good for a I believe, according to what I've read about the studio, it's only a few people, and for such a small team to have made a game that's as polished as this is, I'm really very impressed.
How many hours is it, Paul?
They reckon 50.
Oh.
But I'm sort of maybe 20 hours into it, and I don't feel like I've scratched the surface yet. There's so much to do. It's a proper kind of, right, this is your main mission, but maybe you want to do these side missions at the same time. So you just end up with a list of quests as long as your arm.
Good. James, any questions for this game? Sounds like one of yours. It sounds like you like it.
Yeah. What about inventory management? Is there a lot of that going on?
There is a lot, yes. You can pick things up from the enemies you defeat, and you can also find resources in the wild, and then all this inventory, you can then use that to create new gear, so you can make new weapons, new armor. There's a good crafting system in place, and also there's crystals that you can put into weapons that give you different powers. So you might get a bit more attack, or you might learn a different type of magic attack. You know, like materia in Final Fantasy VII. It's kind of like that. Oh, okay. Well, it's like that anyway, whether you know it or not.
I think it works.
Yeah, but then these crystals as well, you can also fuse these together and make stronger crystals that give you better attacks. And there's honestly, there's so much to go in, so many systems. It's very impressive the amount of things they've managed to shoehorn in.
I can't. One more question.
You can, but I can't believe your question is tell me about inventory management.
It was for you, really. It's on your behalf. I know you're dying to know.
Tell me about accounting.
Well,
yeah,
that's great fun.
Sorry.
You see, it led him on to crafting. So he got there into a decent question
He
in
did.
the end.
Tell me your next question, James.
About the monsters. You said they're all infected by corrosion?
No, not all of them. Some of them.
So that means they're quite varied then.
Oh yeah, there's loads and loads of different types, and obviously they're all weak to certain different types of magic. So experimenting and finding out what works is also needed. But then the bosses that you fight may well be corrupted with corrosion, which obviously makes them stronger and then harder to kill. So yeah, it's very good. The graphics look lovely. There's draw distances to the moon and back. You run around the place and find all these missions, and yeah, it's really, really been a good game. It's one of those games that when I've finished reviewing it, I'm still going to carry on playing it, because I don't feel like I've done a lot of what you can do in the game. So yeah, there's lots to go at.
Great.
I'm glad it's turned out well.
Good. What are you going to give it, Paul? When's it out? It's out today, isn't it?
If it's Thursday today, yes.
Yes. Good.
Then, because unfortunately I don't know what day it is at the moment. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. But I gave it 4.5 out of 5.
Oh my god!
Because there's some minor like graphical glitches, and there's also very definite spikes in the difficulty. If you go to fight a monster that's one level below you, you can pretty much just steamroller it. If you go and fight a monster one level above you, you better prepare your ass to be beaten, shall we say.
Okay. Great, thank you, Paul.
You're welcome, Gareth.
James can play it and can have another argument about it next week with you if you want.
I am going to play it.
He's still not played Aliens Fireteam with me either, so he's only allowed to argue about one game at once.
It's on the calendar. We'll do it.
James, what have you been playing this week?
Well, get your questions ready. I've been playing Super Bomberman R Online.
Ooh.
Right, questions.
I don't know what this is.
Is there a good story to it?
Right, so everyone knows Bomberman, surely. The classic series. Well, this is the Battle Royale version of Bomberman.
Right, I've gone off it already.
I thought it was a little bit of a downside, but it's free to play, so I thought I'd give it a go. And you have 64 players in each round, shall we say, or each match. And basically, you have to go around planting bombs to destroy obstacles and also kill other bombermen. And you find power-ups that make your little bomber character faster. You can make the bombs blast further. And the idea is just to survive and kill everyone around you in like a 2D environment. So yeah, it's really ahead of its time, really.
Was its time 1990? Because I'm sure I had it on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's very retro. for sure.
My first question to you, James, is where are you finding these games that no one else has heard of? Where's this one come from?
Well, what I do is I go on my Xbox, look at all the games I haven't played yet, and go, what else is there out there? And then I find it on the store.
Wow.
But, it's free, and it is good for pick up and play.
Right.
10-15 minutes, you can be done with a game, and it's got a battle pass, so you can unlock customizations. It's got a lot of characters that are like Konami based. You got like Snake, Pyramid Head from Silent Hill.
Right.
There's a lot of customization. Like I say, it's free. It's good fun.
Okay.
It's not going to blow you away. But it might if you stand there a bomb.
Oh, very good. I like it, James. Very good. Good.
More questions?
No, that's it.
You sure?
Yeah. My game, the one I'm playing, it's out today on Thursday, is The Life and Suffering of Sir Brente. And this game it's done really well on PC. It's won some awards. It's got it's accolades. And I was really curious about it. And it's basically it puts you into this kind of Middle Ages world, like a Middle Ages world, like almost mixing sort of Dark Age and Tudor times, but it has its own kind of completely world history. So it's like our world, but it has its own gods, and these are called the twins. It has its own theology. It has its own economic structure. It has its own society structures within it, which are completely new. And it's almost like a choose your own adventure game. What you're presented with a book, and this is a book of your life, Sir Brente, and you start from being born, and you each sort of chapter is split up into youth, adolescence, teenage years, adulthood, and it goes into sort of peacetime and revolution. And what you do is that you go through these it's like text of the book comes in front of you with some lovely, beautiful hand-drawn pictures. And you might get a point when, like, as a kid, you might say your sister's playing with you, they leave you alone. What do? Do you cry for help? Do you try to make your own way home? Or do you sit in the mud and cry? So by choosing one of those, you'll get points, like towards maybe willpower or perception or ingenuity or nobility. And this all kind of adds up as you go along, and like Choose Your Own Adventures, you make some key decisions in your life that will change everything. And as you get older, this kind of person's journey takes them into the city, and then they're faced with this idea of being maybe a revolutionary or someone against society, someone who goes against the religion, or someone joins the religion. The great thing about it is, like, your choices are kind of amazing. You're playing it, you're going, I can go many different ways, or I'm going to get a completely different game here, a completely different experience. And it's really in depth. The writing is really, really good. It really puts you into that world. I'm quite surprised. I'm sitting there just reading text, because these chapters are quite long as well. They're sort of like maybe an hour and a half each. So you're kind of really absorbed in this world. And every time you kind of make a decision, like I've gone because of my socialist ideas of the common man. I sort of joined this sort of revolution. I did a revolution joined this kind of revolution. I had a sort of secret societies fighting against the system, and it was just too much to handle. I was playing on this person off against the other. I just ruined my family's name. They all left. I just was left with nothing. So it really killed me in that way, because I was just making, and like all these great games, you think you're making the right, there's no easy way through. It's really hard, all these life decisions. And I think that's part of the game as well. But it's great. I think it's really, really good. Really good. Especially along the lines of games that are coming out. It's different, but like Crusader Kings 3 has that kind of, a little bit of that there as well, about kind of someone's journey, trying to build someone's journey through decades. Yeah, questions?
Where do you find these games, Gareth?
I have to review these games, but I chose this one. Yeah.
It sounds interesting, but it also sounds, I mean, with the trying to be nice here, it sounds a little intense. It sounds a little like work almost, rather than
No, not at all.
than relaxing.
Well,
Well,
reading a book.
it does.
Yeah.
You've you've managed to ruin your family's name and join a secret society and everything.
Yeah, but I like the way you said it sounds like reading the book. Reading the book sounds like work.
Well, if you have to review them for the site, it is. But but we'll gloss over that because I still haven't.
It's really good. I mean, what's great is this kind of like fantasy world they've built is amazingly detailed, and that's kind of that's really interesting to be in that, And just again, that's a great thing about us reviewing indie games on the site. We just do play games that we would never ever play. Mm-hmm. Probably, I would never maybe buy this. I think I might be put, but it's completely different and really interesting.
How much is it?
I've got no idea. I should look at this before I write it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 60 quid.
I don't think it's 60 quid. I reckon it's about $24.99. That's my feeling. That's what I'm going
it's
for.
About a tenner. I think I'd buy it.
That's interesting.
So find out. Let me know.
I'll find out now while you're chatting about something else. Paul, have you got another game at this point?
The only other game that I've been playing, really, because obviously, as you can imagine, Edge of Eternity has taken up quite a lot of my time. The only other game I've been playing is Destiny 2. I'm trying to get back into it because obviously the new DLC is out the end of next week. So I'm trying to see if I can remember how to shoot and use powers and things. And so I've been enjoying that. It's just like putting on a comfy old overcoat, Destiny now for me. It's just, it's just one of those games that I can always just pick up and play and really enjoy still. So
it's like me with Assassin's Creed. It's the same thing.
Absolutely.
I can get back in there.
Yeah.
Good. I've been playing a bit of Dying Light 2 as well since last week. I'm enjoying it. I struggled at the beginning, but I'm really enjoying it. It's very buggy, as Neil said in the review. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm into it now completely. $16.99 that game. That's good.
Dying Light 2? I'll have a copy then.
That's not too bad. That's good. Right, let's talk about some news really quickly. Now, I've got the two perfect people to talk about this. Who hate GTA, both of them completely. But Rockstar came out and said, yes, GTA 6 is a thing, and it's well underway in development, and that's basically what they said. They said it's a thing, as we all kind of knew it was a thing, but they confirmed it, and it's well into development, which is a key bit of language, I think. It's not in early development, it's well into development, so it could be, we might see something maybe the end of the year, trailer, it might be something into next year, we don't know, but it's exciting for GTA fans. They were doing this while they were talking about the next release of GTA 5, which is coming in March on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, as, I don't know, ray tracing and all sorts of things, if you want to go there again. I think it's free on PlayStation for 3 weeks, I think. I don't know why 3 weeks, but it is. GTA 6. Now, you two hate GTA, so it's a funny question, but what would you like? What would you like, James? What would you like from a GTA 6 to entice you back into it?
Decent mechanics.
Okay.
In shooting wise and driving.
What's wrong with the driving, first of all?
And movement and everything, really. Wow. I always find it quite clunky in the driving. I mean, the shooting definitely is out of date. Right. It hasn't changed since, LA Noire. That was quite bad. It just feels like there's no progress. It's like they copied the mechanics from yesteryear every game. I think if you have decent shooting mechanics, I think it would be quite fun, especially online. Well, every time I played it online, I tried to shoot someone. It's just pointless.
But you're more interested in the online world rather than the single player, aren't you?
I kind of am. Yeah, but I'd enjoy single player more if it was more to my taste. As in, I'd say, It was good shooting mechanics. You know, I prefer Alien Fireteam shooting.
Jesus Christ. Paul, what would get you to ever play GTA again in your life? Anything?
I don't know. £1 million, maybe. I've tried. I've really tried to play this game. I tried to play GTA 4 and I didn't like it because, you know, let's go bowling. No, let's not go bowling. Going bowling is dreadful. Or let's go on a date, but, you know, we're going to walk really, really slowly. You know, that kind of thing from GTA 4 just killed it for me. GTA 5, it was just some game. I never got it. I didn't understand why everybody got so excited about it. You know, there was nothing groundbreaking. There was nothing special about it, I don't think. You know, compare that to a game like Skyrim, even, or Elder Scrolls, then I'd much rather play in that world, in a fantasy world, than I would in, you know, in a sort of modern day America kind of thing. So, I don't know that there's much that could entice me back, to be fair. It's just not my cup of tea.
It's an interesting one because I think you know, that GTA 5 world. It's interesting that that's the same as Skyrim. It's had that longevity for such a long time. That kind of world for people to go back. I'd be really interested to see where they go here because I think with Red Dead 2, I think I've said this before, they went to a very different place with that game. Rockstar. It was a very much more mature game. It was very much more a serious game. It was a kind of straight story. You know, you weren't going out and sleeping with prostitutes in cars or like in Red Dead or having that all the time going to. It was very much about, you know, this kind of journey, and that's what made it kind of brilliant. It felt kind of grown up. GTA is a very different ballgame. It's all about kind of being satirical about society at that time. And GTA 5 is all about Facebook and reality TV shows and, you know, taking the piss out of that. So it's whether it's where does it go now? Does it go almost down the GTA 4 route, which I think maybe they tried a bit more of a serious story there. It's going to be interesting. You know, there's rumours all the time about GTA 6 covering many different worlds. It's going to go to Miami and it'll cover kind of Cuba and you go around that whole area of Florida. Did you both see the Matrix demo for Unreal Engine 5?
No.
James?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So there's a great bit in the end of it. It's worth having a look at, definitely, to see what you can do. But there's a great bit after the kind of Matrixy bit when they kind of show the city and how the city works as Unreal Engine 5. And it looks incredible, and it kind of the potentials for that, what it could look like. I thought, oh, that's interesting for someone like GTA. If it was like that, it's kind of really kind of like immersive, even more immersive than the other one city. You know, with whole systems going to play. That's something I'd kind of would love to, you know, to be involved in. But, you know, also there's a case of I'm older. I don't know if I want to be started fighting everyone on the street. I don't know. Maybe there's something I want. Maybe I'm more story based now. I don't know. I kind of like want the chaos of it. I'm not maybe that interested in. Maybe it might be nice to have the kind of story elements of GTA, the kind of or Red Dead 2, that kind of story, and then you have the online world that you can have the craziness in. I don't know. It's interesting at the moment because Red Dead 2, the online community there felt like Rockstar have just left them. It doesn't feel that supported like GTA Online is. They feel like it's sort of like just dying out a little bit. Yeah. Good. Well, I'm glad I chatted to you two about GTA.
Excellent.
Good. Experts about that.
Know your audience, guys.
Yeah, know my audience. One game that we did see a little bit more of last week was Ghostwire Tokyo. While we did the podcast, there was a deep dive into it afterwards, which you can see on YouTube. Paul, what do you think about Ghostwire Tokyo? Were you enticed?
I was very enticed. I think that this is much more up my alley than GTA 6. Looking at the graphics and the way that the combat happened, I loved the whole sort of moving your hands in certain ways to use different elements and the string bit where he rips the core out of these enemies and things. I was really quite impressed. When William was talking about it last week, it sounded okay, but now that I've actually seen it in action and looked at how it plays, I'm really quite excited. And as I understand it, it's going to be coming to the Xbox at some stage.
Sort of a year later, probably. So
yeah,
we're looking at 2023. Yeah.
That is one that's very much on my radar now. It looks very good indeed. I love the whole vibe of it, the headless Japanese schoolgirls and stuff. The design of the enemies was very good.
Good. James, what about you?
Yeah, I think the gameplay that it showed really gave off a good vibe for different aspects of the gameplay as well. I mean, we saw the stealth, having to sneak up behind these, spirits, these paranormal creatures.
Yeah.
And then next moment, we're doing blasts of fire, using talismans, and grappling into the sky. There's two very different sides to the gameplay. I think both could be quite interesting.
Yeah.
And because it's open world, it kind of is up to you the way you want to go. I believe the idea is to cleanse the whole of Tokyo by, I think that, what do you call it now? Torii gates. You have to get the evil out of these gates to cleanse an area. I thought that was quite a cool way to get you going all the way around it,
Yeah.
But yeah, like Paul said, there's nothing creepier than the headless schoolgirl and a tall man without a face. It's,
my only worry with it will get a little bit repetitive, but you just don't know. Like the headless schoolgirl, after you've seen the 20,000 one of them in the open world, will it get a bit much? But
yeah,
but we haven't seen enough of it yet. Yeah,
we saw about 4 or 5 different creatures, didn't we?
Yeah, in that kind of empty world. But it does look good. The world looks fun. It looks good. And like Paul said, the hand stuff is amazing. And you're thinking, how's all this work? How do you do this? Yeah.
Yeah, I think as you went into the buildings, there seem to be things that you might attract your attention. So it might be quite an interesting world to look at as well. It won't be just bland buildings and killing things. I think it'll be quite a well-sculpted world. I'm quite excited for it.
Paul and Neil are going to miss this because I'm going to share this on the podcast. Paul and Neil play a lot of Forza. They love it, don't they? And I went on with them the other night and I pointed out that the actual houses on the side have interiors and you can see in the living room. And they were like, really? And I said, yeah, it was in GTA 4 as well. Not GTA, Forza Horizon 4. And they were both, you were both shocked, weren't you? But they're all about racing. I'm all about just looking at pretty things.
We were shocked because usually when we go past these houses, we're doing better than 100 miles an hour. We're not just stopping and peeping through somebody's window like some kind of...
I'm not sure about that, Paul. I've seen you at the back.
How rude. How rude.
Driver.
Good. Let's talk about... just one more thing, I think. Let's talk about the... interesting one about the guy from Platinum Games who had the Scalebound, which was cancelled. It's meant to come on the Xbox One, wasn't it, I think? And he wants to talk to Xbox about Scalebound. He said, Phil, let's do it. We'd like to have a proper discussion with Microsoft. He wants to get it going again. James, you were really looking forward to this, weren't you?
It's hard to remember because it was like 4 or 5 years ago now. But yeah, there's a lot of hype around Scalebound. When I saw the trailers, I was like, this was quite cool in co-op. And it just kind of fizzled out and then didn't happen. I can't remember why it didn't happen.
Well, the interesting thing is they come in this interview, they basically said we weren't ready for this. We didn't know what we would. We're developing on the Unreal Engine. We also lack the necessary know-how how to build a game based on online features. I'm sorry to the players who look forward to it, and more, I'm sorry to Microsoft who place their trust in us as a business partner. I want to apologise both as a creator and member of Platinum Games, which is quite an honest thing to say, really. I mean, it sounds like they just couldn't do the game what they promised, and that's probably why Microsoft did it. Would you like to see this happen, Paul?
I would. Unlike James, I remember watching E3 one year and seeing the demo for this and thinking, this looks very good indeed. The different types of dragons you could get and the different attacks they could do and everything else. I just thought it looked really, really good. I was quite upset when it was cancelled and we said it's not going to happen. But, at least if they want to talk about it and they know why it didn't happen now, because they didn't have the necessary skills or the necessary people or whatever it may have been. If they can address that shortfall and get the game out, especially with the power of the Series X now, I think it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Still, the concept of the game really appeals to me.
Good.
Unlike GTA 6.
That's it. I was going to say something nice to you then. Good. So that's cool. We want it. We want it. It's good. We was always excited.
Come on, do it, Phil.
Do it.
I know you listen to the podcast.
I'm going to do really two quick things before Paul does a quiz. Ubisoft are basically talking about Beyond Good and Evil 2, and they say it's in early development stage since it's Still since
it's not happening
since it was first shown 5 years ago, and there's rumours at the moment the next Assassin's Creed game is going to be a standalone game, but following one of the characters from Valhalla, so a kind of mini standalone Assassin's Creed. While they work on their other big thing, which is Unity or something, I think it's called. Not Unity, that was the one they did.
Unity was French, wasn't it?
Yeah, Eternity or something like that.
Did I read somewhere that they're going to have an Assassin's Creed game based in Japan, or did I just hope for that?
I think that's what everyone wants. Yeah.
It might just be that I wanted that then, because I think that would be a brilliant setting. Can you imagine samurai assassins? That would be awesome.
I'd be there day one. Yeah.
Yep, well, we'll wait and see. Paul, let's do a quiz. You got one for us, haven't you?
Let's do a quiz. Right, Sparkly Jacket. Here we go. Right, we're going to do the normal sort of quiz where I've gone to Metacritic and I've looked at the user comments on games. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 choices. You then have to try and figure out what the game is. Now, the theme this week is that these are all games that have scored more than 90% on the critics' scoring.
Okay,
so they're going to be apparently good games. So we'll start with you, Gareth.
Okay.
So your starter for 5, they messed up the atmosphere and everything, man. Just isn't worth it.
Let's go for GTA 5.
No. James.
Yeah.
Would you like to have a guess?
Okay. Legend of Zelda.
No, it wasn't that. And I'll give you a clue. These are all games that released on the Xbox. So it's unlikely to include... since we are TheXboxHub.com, I thought that went without saying. But, anyway,
I
James.
talked about a PlayStation game.
Yeah. Don't have a go. That's it.
Anyway, shush. Let's carry on now. I'm going to have to put on my strict game show host head. Right, for 4 points then, James. One of the best games made even better.
Red Dead 2.
No. Gareth?
I'll go maybe Halo Remastered.
No. Okay, for 3 points, Gareth. Your clue is Felt compelled to write my first ever review here to untank the game's rating.
Oh. Could be anything, that one now.
I may have chosen unhelpful clues.
Dark Souls.
No.
Good.
Excellent. James?
In Witcher 3.
No. I see. There's some good guesses coming here.
Yeah, really good.
Right then, James, your clue for 2, and I'm going to read this out exactly as it was written. As always, don't listen to the haters and butthurt people because they don't got this one feature.
Is that a sentence?
Well, that is a published sentence on Metacritic, yes.
Dying Light 2.
No. Gareth.
I'm trying to think of games. Over 90 of these games, are they?
These are all scored over 90% from the critics. Not the public vote. Necessarily.
It's a remake as well. I think that's a remake. Yakuza 0.
No. Good guess, though. Right then. So, here we go. This might well give it away now. For 1 point, Gareth. Great remastering of all 3 games with new gameplay mechanics and lots of fixed to the problems the games had.
Is it the GTA Definite Edition, the definitive edition?
It isn't. James, what do you think?
Is it? It's obviously a trilogy, but I don't know what's on.
Everyone's shouting at us now, James.
Is it a Mass Effect trilogy?
Yay!
It is.
Yay!
It is. Well done.
Well done,
Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Sorry.
Thank God for that. Jesus.
I really thought that with the mentioning 3 games that Gareth would have jumped on that.
No,
but
I know.
Okay, well, 1 point to James.
No, James.
Okay.
Normally at this point I would ask you to guess the score that the game got, but I forgot to write those down. So we're not going to do that.
Over 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's only the critics' score, not the people's score. But anyway, we'll gloss over that. Right. So James, your turn to start then.
Yeah.
Your starter for 5. Same old crap, just a different year.
GTA 5.
It's not GTA 5. Gareth.
Oh, God. It could be anything. Forza Horizon 5.
Oh, how dare you. No, it's not that. As if anybody has got a bad word to say about Forza Horizon 5. Right, Gareth, your clue for 4 points.
Yeah.
It is only good if you play it once in a while, like the reviewers did.
Ooh. Oh, God. Only good if you play it once in a while, like the reviewers did. Overwatch.
No. James?
FIFA 22.
No. I like your thinking, but it's not that.
That's not going into the 90s.
Right, James, your clue for 3 points then.
Yeah.
Game is great when it works, but sadly, that's almost never.
Oh, God. What is this?
Right, so it's probably a multiplayer. Is it? Oh, is it Destiny?
Oh,
It's not Destiny, no.
Good guess.
Oh.
Good guess, though, yes. Gareth, what do you think?
I'm going for GTA 5 again.
No, it's not GTA 5.
Damn.
Even though you've had GTA 5 already in this question, and it wasn't that earlier. So, but, that's fine. I think he is. Yes,
I've got nothing else.
Right then. So, Gareth, your clue for 2 points. Even after I paid $60, the greedy 2K wants me to pay more to properly enjoy the game.
Oh.
2K. Oh God, it's what's it called? Have I reviewed it?
I can't tell you that.
It's not a walking simulator, so
I can't remember who did 2K. Is it NBA?
I'm going to need more.
Well, I've got to give you the year. NBA 2K.
Yes.
I don't know. It's definitely not the last one. Last couple. What have I reviewed? Ice is Cruel. So I did 17.
Well done, Gary.
No,
I don't know where you pulled that from, but it was NBA 2K17.
The only thing I knew is it wasn't 21 or 20 because I did those reviews and I thought it's not those. So I remember seeing it. That was it.
Wow. Anyway, congratulations. You're now in the lead. 2 points.
2 points. I'm happy
Look
with
at
that.
you. Right, and you get to guess first this time.
Good.
So,
Bring it on.
For 5 points, here we go. It's a game, for God's sake. A lot of people just want to have fun and play a game, and that's what this game is for.
GTA 5.
No. No, it's not GTA 5.
Good. Get out of the way.
Overwatch.
Ooh, that's a good time.
No, it's not Overwatch either, James. Right. For 4 excuse me. For 4 points then, James. Amazing.
Yeah.
I have no words. Finally, a decent update to this game.
Ooh.
Decent update.
I think.
Destiny 2.
No. Good guess, though. Gareth.
I think it's Resident Evil 2. Maybe.
It isn't. No.
Damn.
Okay, Gareth, your turn. 3 points. Microtransactions in a full price title. Do I need to say more? No, I don't. I love it when they ask a question and answer it in the same sentence. But there you go. So that's your clue.
Right, microtransactions. What was the big one with microtransactions? Well, that was NBA. It's not that. I'm trying to think of other games over 90.
Can't be that many.
No,
There was a surprising amount, to be fair.
really. Did I say Overwatch? Overwatch.
No,
Overwatch.
it's not that.
Okay.
I think James said Overwatch last time.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I did.
no, it's not that. What do you think, James?
Apex Legends.
No. Get that? Isn't that free to play?
Depends who you ask.
Okay then. Well, we'll carry on. For 2 points, James. Great graphics, gameplay, great physics, great career mode and split screen. Just need to improve online. Very good game. That was a proper stream of consciousness post, that one.
Now I'm making towards FIFA.
It's not FIFA, James.
FIFA. Okay. I got FIFA. FIFA 22.
Okay, no, it's not that. Gareth,
Yes.
What do you think?
Can you just give me that last one again? Do you mind?
I can, not a problem. Great graphics, gameplay, great physics, great career mode and split screen. Just need to improve online. Very good game.
I think it's a Formula One game. Formula One. Ooh.
I'm going to need more.
Oh my god.
What is it? 2017 again?
2020. 2020. 2020. No, what? 2020. 2020. 2020. 20. I don't know. I've got no idea. 21. Was it?
Is that your final?
Yeah,
answer?
I'll go 21. Yeah.
No, it's not that. I'm afraid. Right. So
Jesus.
Here we go. For 1 point now, Gareth, you get to go again.
Yeah.
Great game. Love Valtteri Bottas. Gotti for this game now, please.
What? Say that again, please.
Great game. Love Valtteri Bottas. Gotti for this game now, please.
Is this the easiest one you've got for the?
If you don't get it from Valtteri Bottas, who is famous for...
I don't know who this is. It? I don't know who that is.
Right up front for Ajax.
For goodness sake. He does. Yeah, you're right. Well done.
Is it Formula One again?
It could be. I need more.
What did I say? 2020.
You said it is 2020.
Oh my god!
Well,
I can't believe I didn't get it for 2021.
You said 2020 and then paused, and I thought, has he got it? And then no,
God.
you moved on. How do you not know that Valtteri Bottas?
I don't know anything about Formula One.
Oh goodness me! Or games. Right. So, in an upsetting turn of events for James, Gareth is now in the lead, 3 points to 1.
Wow! Come on, James.
So it's a whitewash, James, so far. Right. Next game, your clue for 5, James. This game is getting way more credit than it deserves, in my opinion.
The Witcher 3.
It's what, sorry?
Is it The Witcher 3?
It's not The Witcher 3, no. Gareth, what do you think?
GTA 5.
It's not GTA 5.
Damn.
Is that going to be your go-to answer now?
One of them's going to be it.
Cool. Right, okay. Gareth, for 4 points. For $60, gamers are only getting a third of a game.
So weird.
Well, this rings a bell. Why do I think this rings a bell? Resident Evil 2.
It's not Resident Evil 2. James.
Can I have the quote again?
For $60, gamers are only getting a third of a game.
A third of a game. So it's something short. Let's go Destiny again.
It's not Destiny again.
Okay.
Right then. So, James, your question for 3 points. I want to like this game, I really do. However, a lack of balance and depth make me hate it more than I like it.
Balance and depth. Crikey. Probably think of any more decent games.
Just keep saying GTA.
Red Dead 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Red Dead 2. What do you think, Gareth?
Overwatch.
I don't believe it. It is Overwatch.
But that has no... That's just me saying something in the 90s.
My Goodness me.
What would they say about in a third of a game? I wonder.
I don't know.
Yeah, good.
The best bit was the last one that I liked. The last quote that I was going to give you is, "This game features a very inspired character and map design, great gameplay, and brilliant graphics. But that's about it." I mean, what else do you want from a game?
Right.
So, right, okay. As we go into the final question, Gareth is winning 6 points to 1.
Oh, James, you got to get it on the first.
James,
on this
you
one.
need to get it on the first clue, otherwise you lose.
I hope I don't. You can have this one, Gareth. It literally means nothing to me.
Okay, good.
Your turn to go first, Gareth. Here we go.
Good. Yeah.
For 5 points. It's a sandbox for morons, and there are more idiots in the world than any others, hence the popularity.
GTA 5.
Unbelievable.
Oh, at last it came true.
You've said GTA 5 for every question. And when I got down and scrolled down, I just thought, oh, God, I've given him a GTA 5 answer.
Oh, brilliant.
Well done, Gareth.
Thank
you
you very
win 11 points to 1.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, well done.
I don't feel like
Commiserations, James.
Thanks for the effort, Paul. It literally means nothing to me.
Well, I did float the idea of doing a quiz based on walking simulators, and you poo-pooed that one.
Yeah.
It's your own fault.
That was good.
Next one will be about walking sims.
Good.
Next time,
So there we go.
something where I can use my brain to work out the answer.
Unbelievable.
Just keep saying GTA 5. Eventually, it'll be right.
Oh, Overwatch. That's what I said a lot as well. Because actually, there's only 3 games me and James remembered.
Yeah, that's it. Overwatch, Destiny, and GTA 5.
Gentlemen, next week, what one thing are you looking forward to? Paul, what are you looking forward to?
My one thing, if I have to choose only one thing, is going to be Elden Ring, which is releasing next Friday, I believe.
It's not. I don't think it is, Paul, is it?
22nd, isn't it?
I thought it was a 20...
Is that not next Friday, the 22nd?
No, it's not next Friday.
No.
Oh!
I think it's a week after. Yeah, you got another week.
All right. I'm going to look forward to it anyway.
Good. That's all right.
All right.
You're allowed to do that.
Thanks.
James, what about you?
I'm looking forward to a massive weekend of wrestling with Choco Pro.
Good.
Reaching
Chocobo
their 200. Yeah, episode 200. It's a big one. If you're not watching it, you're missing out.
Good. We will do. I'm going to look forward to... It's not much for me this week, but I did review a game that's coming out that I couldn't talk about, and I probably still can't, called Unbound Worlds Apart, which is a platform coming out on the 11th, so that's definitely worth a look. Right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I forgot where I am.
It's unusual for you to win a quiz.
Are we at the end? Yes. Right, yes.
That's it.
Paul, if we want to find out, talk to you about anything, about your quizzes, what can we do? Where can we find you?
If you want to talk to me about quizzes and things, I'm on the Twitter, and my handle is at TheXboxHub Paul.
Brilliant. James, what about you?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at OKidUKO, and please don't talk about quizzes with me.
In fact, if you want to mention quizzes, James is your man.
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Insta at GB Bridie. But until now, I've lost it at the end. I don't know what I'm doing. The quiz has gone to my head. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of this show at www.TheXboxHub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub, and search The Xbox Hub on Facebook.